Welcome back to our financial literacy course. Today's topic is cost of attendance. We are going to identify what makes up cost of attendance, how can we reduce some of this cost, and I'm also going to provide you with helpful tips that will help you on your personal educational finances. So let's go ahead and get started. Well, we want to go ahead and just start off with this picture before we move on. Just want to share that you're not alone. We have so many students that sometimes think of how can I reduce cost, or what are ways for me to actually reduce some of the expenses maybe that they're going through. And this is a great way for you to start reflecting on your personal finances. So throughout this lesson, I want you to really start thinking of your personal finances and start looking at where you'll be able to apply these helpful tips. Attendance. So tuition is part of that cost of attendance list. It's an exact amount billed by the university, and it varies by college. So tuition is a set price. There's no negotiable tuition that you can reduce. So whatever the pricing is that is set by the university, you are required to pay that. And sometimes you're required to pay it before even classes begin. So it is important for you to get a full understanding of how and when tuition is due. Housing is part of that cost of attendance as well. It is an estimated amount. A lot of the times you will have an estimated amount of maybe the university bill before you actually get the set standard price. Housing on campus varies a lot of the times. It depends if you're going to want a meal plan, if you decide not to get a meal plan. Also, for students that live off campus, it is your rent. How much are you going to pay for rent? Will you have a roommate? Will you live alone? Things are things that you'll have to take into consideration, especially the meal plan. Does the meal plan come with it? If you're living off campus, are you going to be possibly grocery shopping or eating out every day? So all of those things are going to be taken into account. Part of that cost of attendance, and I want to share a few tips on your books. Making sure that you find different avenues to reduce the cost, maybe renting your textbooks, buying them used, shopping around. These are all very helpful tips, and they also help you reduce the cost. And it's a very important item listed on the cost of attendance because you will need books in order to successfully do well in your classes. Transportation is how often will you be visiting your parents? If you don't live close by your parents' home, are you going to possibly travel through plane? Are you going to travel through bus? Or are you taking your personal vehicle? All of these three items I just listed, forms of transportation, do require you to pay a ticket or pay for gas of some sort. So really take that into consideration when you're looking at transportation. Also, possibly cutting costs is living on campus so that you don't have to take a vehicle to your school. All you have to do is possibly live on campus and walk around campus so that you actually save yourself money. Don't bring a car to campus unless you have to. And of course, miscellaneous. A lot of the times we forget this important cost, which is your personal expenses. Personal expenses are part of your tuition, cost of attendance, your education, not your tuition, excuse me. Everything else, such as maybe your essentials you'll need throughout your semester. Tips to significantly reduce this is save up in the summer, work part-time while you're in school. Be frugal. I know a lot of times we'll probably want to pay our friends maybe a meal, maybe we want to splurge on a birthday lunch or dinner. We definitely want to think of the future. And for this lesson, we're going to create, and we're going to want you to stick to a budget, create a budget that's going to be user-friendly for you, something that you know that you'll be able to successfully stay with throughout your college career. Of course, we went over a couple of items, and here's the listing just to give you an example of what it would look like if you were to actually enroll at a university. wonderful. Any questions? Well, if you don't have any questions, I want to thank you for joining me, and till next time, we will go over a couple of more other items. Thank you for joining me.